In 1917, there was a fellow in Germany called Arthur Zimmermann who contacted, he was at the Foreign Office in Germany, and he contacted the ambassador to Mexico, telling him that if there was any likelihood of America entering the First World War, then he should approach the Mexican government, saying that they should invade the US, and Germany would fund them, and that if there was a positive result, then Mexico would get Texas and Arizona and New Mexico. Well, the US, they intercepted this telegram, they decoded it, and they found out what it was all about, and 5-6 weeks later they'd entered the war. So this was the gathering of information and then using it. And I suppose that there's a big kerfuffle going on at the moment regarding Edward Snowden, who's saying that 35 heads of state are having their conversations, mobile telephone conversations, monitored by the US. The Germans are outraged that their Prime Minister Merkel has had her phone tapped for 20 years or something like that, something really stupid. And that I think today in the BBC they were saying that 60 million people in Spain have had their internet traffic or their mobile phone traffic monitored by the US. And they're saying that the Europeans and most other countries, when it comes to surveillance over the internet or electronic networks, then they've got some sort of little pop gun, whereas the Americans are using howitzers or nuclear missiles. That's the discrepancy between the technology in the US and what it is over in Europe. That people are just spying on each other. What are they afraid of? But the strange thing is that on the same page there are articles about the editors of the News of the World, a Miss Brooks, I think her name is, who has been taken to court for tapping into people's telephones. And it may be that she will receive a prison sentence. And you have to ask yourself, well, if this law applies to individuals who break the law and they tap into other people's phones, why doesn't it apply to governments as well? Because for all this phone tapping to go on, it has to have had some order from the White House. And you think, who is going to be charged over all this? I don't think anybody's going to be charged. It'll just be swept underneath the carpet. One law applies to the individual and another law applies to the government, or perhaps even governments are above the law. And I don't think that that should be. That somebody has to be held accountable, and it should stop now.